You!
Friendship is born at the moment when one man says to another, "What? You too? I thought that no one else but myself." Guys, I think C.S. Lewis had it right when he had this quote about friendship and saying that friendship is when you find yourself thinking to yourself, man, does anybody else go through this? Does anybody else notice me? Does anybody else care? And I think C.S. Lewis points it out so clearly right here. That says when you find yourself saying, "What? You too?" Those are the people that you want to be friends with. Now, I know there's times when we've all done stupid things and we've all spent time with friends that don't maybe push us to become a better friend or to be a better friend to them. But finding those people, those true friends, is what makes all the difference. And Proverbs has a lot to say about friends. So I've got one word for you, friends. Friends matter. Friendship matters. Because unlike your family, you get to choose your friends. You get to choose who you're going to surround yourself with. And the Proverbs are packed full of advice for all of life's scenarios, but especially friendship. Guys, King Solomon makes it so clear in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. He says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools will suffer harm." Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty clear cut to me. When I think about the people I want to surround myself and the people, that I want you to surround yourself with, I want you to surround yourself with wise people. It says if you surround yourself with wise people, you will become wise. If you surround yourself with foolish people, you'll become a fool. Now, I don't know how that makes you feel, but that just hits me straight between the eyes. And I don't want you guys to be a fool. I want you guys to walk with the wise. And here's the thing, guys. Friendship, it can be a make or break part of your life. It can be a part of your life that is full of life-giving, encouragement, challenging, for you to become the best person that you can be, the best friend that you can be, the best part of your community that you can be. And if you surround yourself with foolish people, that's just never gonna happen. If you surround yourself with foolish people, they'll tear you down rather than build you up. They'll tell you to tear others down rather than building people up. Guys, and that's not the way to life. That's not the way that the Bible lays out the idea of friends. How do we go about friends? How do we go about thinking through friendship? There's 3 questions that we're gonna pose to you, but before we go any farther, let me say this. When it comes to your friends, are you being an influencer towards your friends? Are you being influenced only by your friends, or both? And guess what? All 3 of those scenarios are great. There are people that you should surround yourself with that you are influencing. You are the leader, you are the go-to person, you are the one that they look to for wisdom and for advice and for love and for care. And then there's also some of those friends where you're being influenced by them. Hopefully, as we're talking about here, you're being influenced by their wisdom, by their godly wisdom, by their godly concern over what's going on in your life. And then there's those friends that it's both. You're going both ways. You feel like you can give a lot to them, and also they can give a lot to you. So when it comes to your friendships, when it comes to the people that you're surrounding yourself with, are you influencing them? Are you being influenced by them? Or is it a little bit of both? I want you guys to find those friends that are close enough to you, that know everything that they possibly could about you, and they still love you and they still care about you enough to speak wisdom and truth into your life. As we read a couple Proverbs here, let me just encourage you, put some fresh lenses on. Think about this a little bit differently maybe than you've thought about it before. So Proverbs 27:17 says this, "Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another." Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Are you in a friendship right now that is just dull? It's not sharpening you? How can you bring that friend along with you and say, hey, I want to be sharpened. I want to be challenged. And when you ask yourself the question, does this person want me to be more like Jesus? If they do, there's probably still some sharpening to be done. Even for me, even in my friendships, there are times where I need to be sharpened. And I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with having those sort of friendships, man, I believe that will take you a long way. Do you have a friend that's willing to sharpen you? Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Seems so practical, seems so simple, but it could take a lifetime of work, and I believe it's totally worth it. Or here's another one, because we know life isn't all easy. Things happen, things get hard, it gets tough. And I want you to think about Proverbs 17:17 through that lens as well. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. If you have a friend that is near you, that's surrounding you, and they want you to be more like Jesus, they will be with you in the hard times. Guys, we know that Jesus spent his life on earth surrounded by people that weren't like him. And he had brothers, he had his disciples, he had his friends around him that said, hey, this is what's going on. This is how things are playing out. And they loved him enough to stick with him. And I can think about so many times where there have been times in my life where I knew that I couldn't do this on my own. I knew that I couldn't go through this scenario on my own. I can think of so many times where I said to myself, man, life is hard. And that's where your brothers and your sisters, those friends, true friends, will come alongside you and will say, you know what? I love you. I might not know all the next steps to take. I might not know how to get out of this situation, but I love you. And if you find yourself surrounded with friends like that, you find yourself surrounded with friends that will stick with you through adversity, it can make all the difference. Guys, we were not meant to do this life alone. And when you have a friend that is willing to point you closer to Jesus, when you have a friend that is wise enough to say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm gonna stick with you through this, those friendships are a game changer. How can we encourage each other to be more like Christ? Guys, for those both friendships, where you're both being an influencer and being influenced, that is what it takes to become somebody who is walking with the wise. When you say to yourself, man, I want to be more like Jesus, are you surrounding yourself with people that are helping you towards that route? Are you surrounding yourself with people that are saying, hey, you know, was that action, was that thought something that Jesus would do? And it's not because they don't love you, it's because they absolutely love you. And guys, in all sorts of friendship, in all sorts of life, it's so easy to get complacent with the people we surround ourselves with. It's so easy to think, man, I don't need that sort of friend. I don't need that friend that's gonna challenge me, that's gonna come back at me with a tougher question. That's exactly what you need. And I would say, guys, this is a two-way street, because you need to be that sort of person for somebody else. Are you a type of person that somebody wants to come to and to be encouraged and to be challenged? Because just like we said, is surrounding yourself with people that are like you matters. Walking with the wise matters. And guys, I mean, just hear me so clearly. That is what life group is all about. That is what community is all about. We say it all the time. Circles are better than rows. Community is king. That makes all the difference. Because if you just surround yourself with friends that are based off of certain interests, they're not going to come at you when it comes to your faith journey. They're not going to come to you for questions when they're struggling, when things are hard. And if you surround yourself with a life group of people that are wanting to be more like Jesus, they can encourage you to be more like Jesus, and you can also encourage them to be more like Jesus. That's what matters. Because There's so many times in the world where we find ourselves in certain friend groups and you just know they're not walking with the wise. You just know that the things that they're doing are not wise. And a life group should be a place where you can feel that both ways. You can feel like the people around you are wise, and you can feel like the people around you are wanting to come to you for wisdom as well. Maybe it starts with just taking a step towards one person in your group, starting that sort of accountable relationship where you can come to them at any point, ask them a tough question, they can ask you a tough question, and you can both be honest. You can both be truthful and open with what's going on. So that might be my challenge for some of you, is how can you encourage each other to be more like Christ? Maybe it starts with you taking a step towards somebody else and saying, hey, how are you really doing? You know, just like C.S. Lewis said, friendship is when you find yourself thinking, what? You too? Find those people that are surrounding you that are saying to you, man, that's going on in my life too. That's something that I'm thinking about as well. And let them speak truth and wisdom into your life.
What's up guys, thanks so much for checking out our YouTube channel. We hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to click that bell, subscribe to this channel. You won't regret it. Peace.